Hi, I'm Bob Dover. I'm a surface water hydrologist and environmental planner living in Howard County, Maryland. And I'm standing in the middle of a recent stream restoration project. As you can see, what they do with these stream restoration projects is they cut down the trees in the floodplain, and then you can see down this end where the project ends. So everything I'm standing on was mature forest like that just last summer before they cut down those trees. So these projects, they've been doing a lot of them in Howard County, but it seems in recent years they've been doing more of them in larger scales. So the early ones were a few hundred feet long, but this one is about 1,000 feet long that they've cut down the trees. There's one not far from here that's 7,000 feet long, and there's one that was proposed at 33,000 feet long. So as you can imagine, these things are really starting to encroach on residential neighborhoods, and they're doing substantial tree removal of large mature trees directly along the property lines of the backyards of residences in these suburban areas. So when I first heard of these projects, I was skeptical. The stream restoration companies claim that they can improve the water quality, they can improve ecological function by taking down the mature trees, rearranging the soil, putting the stream into a rock-lined engineered channel, and this is supposed to improve things. And this violates everything I've learned in 40 years about healthy streams and normal streams. Mature trees perform enormous, important hydrologic functions in watersheds. So they largely control the entire hydrology, how much water there is, where the water is going, how fast it's going there. And the claims that you can cut down these trees that are performing these functions and stop these functions cold, and yet things are going to improve, just doesn't make sense to me. So I did a lot of research into these, and it turned out my skepticism was well founded. The claims of the stream restoration companies that these things will always improve water quality and always improve ecological function, they simply don't have the documentation to show that. Most of these projects are not even monitored for those parameters. On the other hand, there's a large amount of academic research, university researchers in the past 10 to 15 years who have been doing studies of groups of projects, groups of hundreds of projects, and looking at them as a whole. And they've largely concluded that these projects are not improving water quality or ecological function, and they're not even really stabilizing the stream banks, which is, quite frankly, the easy part, and it's what they're supposed to be doing. So I've been compiling documents and permit applications, technical reports, monitoring data, survey data, lots of emails, including internal emails within the regulatory agencies that discuss, show how they're talking about these projects internally. And I'm hoping to start releasing that stuff out to the public. And so the first step in that process is this series of videos titled Stream Restoration in Suburbia. And so I hope to ultimately have a series of 6 or 8 or 10 modules on specific technical topics, such as the theory behind these projects and do they really work or not? What are the flaws? What are the impacts of the projects on residential properties? The hydrologic functions of trees and what happens in a watershed when you stop those functions. And we'll also be looking at data, post-construction data from a project in our community that we've been told is a completely successful project. And so we'll look at those data and we'll see how that pans out. So I appreciate you've watched the introduction here, and I hope you'll go watch at least a few of the other modules. Thanks.